been to Plata before, and I came to serve years ago. And I went to Mongo, and I was in the camp, so I really did not see these places much. And the first day I went to Kwampan. We stayed at the NIC sectors in Kwampan. I'm trying to remember the name of the place right now. And the words of these people, the way they wanted you to stay back to experience the beauty of the state, was not like I've seen before. I've been to Uyo, I've been to Umuahia, I've stayed in Lagos, I've been to Benin, so I've been to places prior to coming to this place. But these people were more than willing to convince you to stay back. If a people who consistently carries on their head, like we see, the culture of the place, the love for the place, and spreads it with all of the energy and love that one could harbor in their heart. If these same persons are saying we are not safe, that is not demarketing. That is you telling them your emotions and your security doesn't matter so long it doesn't put us in a bad light.
Okay, so I disagree with that.
Okay.
They are okay. If he was saying their emotions and their security doesn't matter, then he won't take consistent effort into making these people secure, into going to these people, addressing them, talking to them, listening to them, hearing what they have to say, understanding, relating, like there and that is already addressing their emotional issues there.
Doesn't address the emotional issue. It is so. Hold on.
Pacifying it is there. I see what you feel. I can't do better than this at the moment. But I can help relate with you. I can help understand how you feel.
Let me rephrase this. I understand the idea of speaking to the people and going to sympathize with them, but it makes no sense when you sympathize with the people and don't provide ways to keep them safer. And even though you sympathize with, you don't provide ways to help them recover from their pain. It is all photo ops to me when people who were shot at Angwaro Kuba, many of them are still dealing with medical bills still today. It is photo ops.
Funds were released for
many. Yes, funds were released, but we'll talk about some other time. Some people who were shot and are still alive are still dealing with medical bills still today. It is false sympathy when you go to them and say, "Oh, I compensate with you," but you don't provide any form of psychological help to deal with it. It is false sympathy when these persons, after you're done, still have to deal with the pains they have to go through. They are not getting extra jobs or getting something different. We have seen people in IDP camps in this state who are suffering. In 2022, for example, when we saw the governor, the former governor of Anambra State, President of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, come to Plateau State, he went to IDP camps, and the nature of these camps are things that you can't speak of because of how bad it is. So explain to me what sympathy is when the people who have lost their families are left by themselves. I remember yesterday, when the Burmese Mothers Association president were here, and he said the government provides them with coffin. And in part of my head, it's like, that's nice, but what happens afterwards? These people who have lost their farms, what happens to them afterwards? These people who have lost their loved ones, is there any form of psychological help that they get? So when we say things like they're doing their best, yes, I know, but are we going to stop at level 0.1 and go to level 100 to deal with these issues? If you consistently say to these people, I see you and I feel your pain, what happens to Operation Rainbow? If you see I see your pain, what happens to the drones that were commissioned last year that we can't see? It is all nice and beautiful to say because it's good for talking points, but the real work is not being done. And so for me, I don't care if you go there, just protect them. I don't care if you say I sympathize with you and you shed a tear. I don't actually care. Just protect these people. And if you can't protect them because you don't have the means to, can you at least give them some level of succor? Beyond just talking to them, can you provide them with financial and psychological help? More often than not, nothing is done. The president, for example, said 2 billion naira will be given to people who lost their life at Angwaro Kuba. Oh, when would it be released? Oh, the last time that we had killings in Mongo and we had killings in the States, we have the first lady of the nation. They net 500 million naira. Who got those monies?
I mean, even Pastor, what's his name?
Pastor
Selman.
Yeah. Also gave money. Who got those monies? They gave. So we. It's nice when you do these things because it feels like it's good. But when the cameras are no longer there, what happens? So, for example, Angwaro Kuba was affected almost more than a month ago. Have we addressed the issue of security in Angwaro Kuba? Do we have police officers stationed in those places? Questions that should be asked.
I haven't heard that the curfew is not as effective.
Of course, it's
Because
normal.
security agents are not there anymore.
Like I read this morning, VOM was attacked, right? Last night by 11 p.m. On Sunday, there was a security alert that VOM would be attacked. What happened? Nothing. And so when government officials say, "Oh, we are doing our best," and I get it, I have never been in that position before. I do not understand the enormity of the burdens they carry. I won't pretend like I do. But as a human being who lives here, as a human being who constantly looks over their shoulders when I'm working by 8 p.m., not sure if somebody's going to come out of a bike and spray bullets just because they're angry, that's not nice. That's not good.
So I wish we could get a security officer or something to come and explain to us how many security agencies are in JOS, like the police, the military. How many are they? How are they shared amongst this community? Because it feels like a lot of communities are understaffed, they are undersecured.
Oh, it is common knowledge.
So
the security are understaffed in this part of the world. Anyways, let's quickly move on from that just because of want of time. Yesterday this morning we saw the big story that JAM has reduced cutoff mark for universities, 150 for universities, 100 for polytechnics, and for colleges of education, 100. Colleges of nursing and sciences is 140. Now the statement, let me get the statement from JAM's official handle on X. First off, I'd love to get your thoughts. I remember you saying this morning that this is bad for us, but how bad is it that JAM is reducing cutoff mark? Once upon a time, state universities was 180, federal universities was 200, and I think College of Education was about 150 or 180. I can't remember the exact number. So let me read the official statement from JAM official handle. This one says, the Minister of Education, Tunja Alausa, was delivering his speech on the policy meeting that happened yesterday in Abuja. And some of the things, like I mentioned before, the biggest ones obviously in the conversation right now is a reduction of the cutoff mark. Candidates seeking admission into education programs and agriculture, non-engineering courses are now exempted from UTME. The heads of tertiary institutions in Nigeria had unanimously agreed that the minimum admission scores for admissions into university should be 150, College of Education 150, and Polytech 600. Let me say that again. Universities 150, Polytechnics and 100, colleges of nursing 150, and if you're going to do education or non-education programs, agriculture, non-engineering courses, you do not need UTME. Let me get your thoughts on that quickly, Chelsea.
So I think first of all, remember the recent story of the Moneypoint CEO coming out to say that he cannot employ Nigerians because they are not qualified for the work.
Yes.
And a lot of people came out to bash him, saying there should be a system of training and retraining. And now we are seeing where the fault is. The fault starts from our educational system. I think I analyzed it this morning where in university 70 is an A and from 38% they fail. But here we are seeing 150. And in percentage, 150 is 37.5%. That's below a fail. So basically, we are saying, be a failure and come to school. I say that. No.
That's unfair.
I don't mean to be rude or to be mean, but I say that, with heartbreak. It's like saying, being a failure and come to school. And then you expect someone who doesn't even put in the effort to be there, to put in the effort to stay there. You just see the declining of our standard of education in Nigeria, where now people are in the era where people want sharp things, we want fast things, and the economy is the educational system. In fact, everything is just agreeing with people. It's like instead of raising the bar, instead of improving our educational system, instead of giving all the schools more equipment, instead of raising the standard of schools, no, we are reducing it, and we are giving the student leverages to just not be ambitious, not think about
it's reducing the cutoff mark, reducing ambition though.
It is.
It's not widening the gap so that more people can get into school.
So it's not about more people going to school, it's more quality people.
So if we use the word quality, are you now saying that education should only be for a certain kind of people?
So not a certain kind of people, but you have to put in that effort to be in there. It's like wanting a promotion, you earn it, you put in the work.
So education should be earned.
In a way, it's you going to study. So most of these questions that they put in JAM, it's what you have been taught from just one, sorry, to SS3. It's what you have been taught. Sometimes even you have PQs, you can see where the line of questions come. You can study. There's no way you would study and you will not pass. But then now you're basically saying, you don't really have to study, just write. As long as you get one.
But you can't get 150 if you don't study, can you?
You can get more than 150 if you, like, I know someone that did not even read for her exam and she got 180.
That means she's smart.
It's not that she's smart. She just remembers what she has been taught.
So
I imagine if she had put in the work, she would have gotten more than the 180.
Is the system not supposed to embrace everybody? If we begin to raise the bar so high that people can't reach it, thereby removing them from the system, are we not doing more harm than good to a nation that needs more people educated?
So, like, I want to say that in every field of life, you have to be qualified to be there. Like, you got, it's like saying.
So you have to be qualified to be in university.
Yeah, you have to be, like, you have to be educated enough. It's like having doctors that are not properly trained and you take them to the hospital. Even you wouldn't want them to choose.
But if you're not properly trained as a doctor, you're not going to pass in the first place.
So exactly, and then these people are not qualified.
They are 16-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds. What does their 150 have to do with anything, by the way?
Do you know? Most of the people that got results like this, and I'm not saying this to demean anyone, because I remember in my class there were the smart ones, and then there were just those that didn't care. I had several classmates that missed classes, missed tests, missed a lot of things. And why? Because most of them paid their way into entering school. Most of them, it was not about their jam. It was not, they found their way into university because they were not prepared. I feel like if you work hard to achieve something, you would work hard to sustain it, because you will see that hard work actually matters and it actually pays off. But here we are telling them, your hard work doesn't really pay off. Just do your best. Don't put in all your effort. Just do your best, and then when you get there, you can put in the hard work. But then if I don't get something by hard work, I promise you, most people will not value this opportunity.
All right, according to Chelsea EJ, let's make it harder for people to go to
it's
school,
not
so that only the smartest
At
ones
least
can be in
put it-
school.
180 was fine, 180, but taking it down to 150. You know your time, Emeka. You
I don't know anything. I don't know.
In my time, it was 180, but I think I got 240 something. And even with that, I wasn't even proud of it.
Okay, so I do understand the conversation around.
Like, there are people. I think that I saw a news in JAM that there's a best student in JAM. She got 372. Recent. So you're telling me there's someone that can get 372, and there's you struggling with 150.
So there is
Have not even half of it.
So there is in this conversation, on the flip side of it, there is an intellectual elitist ideology that I think I can perceive, where you have to be at a level. Hold on, you have to be at a level of intelligence for you to even get to school.
No, 180 was fair. Half of it. You're telling me that as
180 is not even half.
It's not even half, but you're telling
But
me
it was
that-
fair
No,
because
it was fair.
because we are used to it.
But then 150 is below par. And then, like I said, in
Really,
university,
is it?
It is below par. In university, 38% is fail. But you're telling me 37.5% is okay for me to get into the university.
So we should raise the bar.
180 where it was fine.
So if it is 180 and more people don't go to school, how does it help us?
How about they putting in the work to go to school?
They
should put in the work. You're making
Do you
it seem
think
like,
they are not putting in the work?
So, I know a lot of people that have written jam, and I feel like, you know how in my time, so I have a neighbor that, their child wrote jam last year, and I was even worried for the person. I was even the one sending PQs to the person, and the person just seemed so chill. Like,
So is it the
jam?
person's fault?
You know,
though?
so I think that's why I said it's the system. The system has made it seem like everybody can, like, it's I want something sharp. I want to make it sharp. I don't see process as valuable. And then most of the generation we're producing now are just relaxed set of
You see,
people.
okay.
I don't feel like they need to put in the work.
Let's-
and
let's-
because they're not putting the work, we keep reducing it to meet their
Let's
standard.
walk
If we
back.
keep
Let's walk
dropping
back a
their
bit.
standard.
Let's go back a bit, Chelsea. So you talked about how people no longer love processes. I don't like passing the blame game around, the bulk of the blame, but in conversations like this, I think it's best we peel off the layers and get to the root of the problem. What is the root of the educational, in your words, not mine, educational decay? What is the root of the problem?
So, I think a lot of, let's start with the whole government, the quality of schools we have, the quality of education system we have, even the whole economy too. So most people don't think they see people that we didn't really pass through school making it. You see people that are, making it through handwork and all those stuff, and then they don't necessarily see the importance of education. And then
Is education really important in Nigeria?
I mean, it is.
In the honest conversation, is education important in the country?
It is.
Please explain how.
It is. Education is important. I mean,
no, I'm not saying like in Nigeria that we are right now. Is it important? Do you need to be schooled in Nigeria to be air quotes successful?
I mean, no. We have
So,
the likes of Pella, they are just.
And I also think it's unfair for you to use Pella as an example because he's actually not an educated person, by the way. He is educated. I'll explain why. The phone lines are open 09055 666699 or 08121877777. Let's pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Very good morning to you, my dear brother Emeka Umwese.
Good morning, sir. Your name and your location.
Yeah, by their voice, we shall know them. Good morning. Extend my regard to my dear sister there. God bless you for your sacrifice for Nigeria.
Thank you so
our
much,
country
sir.
And Plateau State. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
May God continue to increase you. You see, Emeka, the candidate is one. Issue of JAM, as far as I'm concerned, I was an advocate that JAM should crash and be cancelled. There's no need of JAM. Emeka, I know number of people that they are delayed for almost 6 years just because of JAM, for them to gain admission in the university. Somebody who has written successfully through a secondary school, he has the requirements, post-medical WAEC, and it's JAM that is going to delay social casting the number of 6 years. Do you think it is healthy for us in Nigeria? Is it that the university that the children are ambitious to go read there cannot set a little exam or test for those who have passed through the school certificate? Very, very surprised. So I'm advocating that JAM should be cancelled completely in Nigeria. There is no need of JAM. What does that JAM mean to us? To delay somebody up to 6 years? Does it mean that somebody that person doesn't know anything? How then did he pass through the secondary school? What that one is. I'm advocating that JAM should be a thing of fact. They should forget about JAM. That if federal government will listen to me, I am advising that they should cancel JAM in Nigeria.
So what would be the alternative then, if they cancel JAM?
They can cancel JAM, and the alternative that the students they have obtained certificate, then they can apply to university, and the university will set a little test for them apart from supervision and training period.
All right, makes sense.
So then, let me tell something concerning security. Let me be frank to you. I am not happy with the Plateau stakeholders and Plateau state government for taking Plateau state affairs to Abuja. I am not happy with that. That is my personal, and I'm not happy with that. You can see what happened in Abuja with Mr. President and the stakeholders of Plateau state. So is it that the stakeholders on the Plateau cannot be able to settle the issue of Plateau? Let me tell you, my brother, we must control the things the way they are. If we control to cover things while we are, these are things that are our problem, we will control to be in it. Of course, some of us are not ready to it. We're not ready for it. I mean? So I'm appealing to the elders. The governor should have meeting with the past governor, with the traditional rulers of Plateau State, and necessary people that you should discuss with them. You should not be taken to Abuja. We see what happened in Abuja. Now they have set up in a very serious in a commotion now. So people say that they need a deputy governor. So people started advocating for that Emeka. If deputy governor can deputy governor give us peace? Don't we have deputy governor? And this set of people, they are holding so very many appointments. They're on the plateau. So they are giving us conditions. If not, we will not see peace. So these people are giving us conditions. If you don't give them deputy governor, we cannot see peace and give them another political appointment. We cannot see. Is that the reason why they are killing people, plateau people? Are they the only non-indigenous here on the plateau? There are other tribal tribes. Many tribes here, there are non-indigenous of plateau, but they stay in peace. They have never demanded for any position. So why are this set of people demanding for position, if I may ask? And let me tell you, Emeka, I am saying this is a personal opinion. I am urging the governor of Plateau State. The appointment, if there is any particular aspect, the appointment will be cut across. You should give it to Igbo man, commissioner. You should give Benue man. Next time, you should give Adamawa, give Yoruba man. Imagine the particular tribe. That was a mistake this Plateau State government has done before. Why every tribe, particular tribe, among the is it only them?
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. Let's speak more calls. Hello, good morning. Apologies that the phone lines are still open. 09055 666699 or 08121877777. Chelsea got a start for us, Chelsea.
So I just saw someone saying that this whole jam stuff is unfair, and then he said that in 2005 he attempted and he got 199, but his cutoff mark was 200, and because of that he didn't get in. And then he tried again the next year. Cutoff mark was 220 and he got 205 and he didn't get in. So there are several people like this that have had to stay home for a long time, because they didn't meet the cutoff mark.
See, that's what Jam is doing.
But
That's what Jam is doing. He's saying, hey, so you don't have to stay home. Let's reduce it.
That it was 199, and then the next year he did better, and then the next year he did better.
Okay.
So that means he stayed back home. He put in the work.
So you're saying that 1 year at home when you could have been in university is worth it because of some imaginary standards?
So it's not an imaginary standard. Even that 1 year, most of these students we are pumping out of schools, to be honest, are not.
Hold on. Let's walk back with the use of words there. Pumping out of schools. It's not a machine, is it?
It's not a machine. But most of the system we are letting out, into imagine a 16-year-old that is not fully matured enough, is not willing to study, is not willing to put in the work, is still struggling to find themselves. And then they go into the school because the cutoff mark is 150, so they go into
so we are saying that let make the process harder so fewer people get into school.
It's not about fewer people. 180 was the standard. The 180 standard should be maintained. A lot of
do you know that if you spoke about 180 standard to your fathers who went to the school in the 80s, they were like, that's too low.
What was their own standard then?
I don't know, but we can also admit that then the standard, air quotes, of education then was way higher than it is right now, way higher than your time and my time. So I think that Jam are just saying let us all go to school. When we get there, the lecturers whose job it is to mold.
All the work lecturers now they will now put all the work on.
Yes, they should earn their money. All then 055 666699 or 08121877777. Hello, good morning.
Emeka, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and your location, please.
Emeka, this is Honorable Jude Safley, Unity Junction.
Honorable Jude, please go on.
Emeka, my brother, honestly speaking, if we are alive, we can go to school. But if we are not alive, school is good, but anybody that is alive can go to school. Emeka, what is disturbing me seriously is about the issue of insecurity killing that is happening on Plateau. I'm telling you, Emeka, I'm from Southeast, and everybody have, right to stay in his state and have every good thing that comes to him or to her. You understand? The way these people are killing people on this state, honestly speaking, Emeka, I'm worried because you cannot come to my village or to my town and give me condition. It's not negotiable. You have to calm down, at least abide by the rules and regulation that I led as an indigene. Or Emeka, I'm sure that you are from Southeast. In your village, and outsider cannot come and give you condition. You have to give that person condition. Yes, let us tell ourselves the truth. The earlier we tell ourselves the truth, the better for all of us.
So hold on. June, hold on. Before you go any further, what is the truth you are telling yourself here?
The issue, our friend, there's something that he raised now. Some people are giving condition.
Based on rumors, not confirmed. Okay.
Well, at times, Emeka, when a rumor started like that, there's an atom of truth on it.
Hold on, Honorable Judsat. And I understand you that every rumor sometimes does have atom of truth, but there are some rumors that don't have atom of truth, and we cannot at this level and on this platform yes. rumors without truth.
Yes,
right?
Emeka, what I'm just trying to say, in conclusion, if such thing is about to happen or anybody thinking of that, let that person or any tribe disease from that. It's not good. It's not healthy
All right,
to
then.
the society.
All
Good
right.
morning.
Thank you so much for calling. 09055666699 or 08121877777. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Your name and your location, please.
Yes, Mr. Emeka, this is Marshal Swasta calling from Kaduna.
Please go on, sir. It's good to have you here. How's Kaduna today?
Kaduna is fine.
Please go on.
I followed the program and then you spoke about variety of issues. And let me start with the issue of insecurity.
Please.
You see, one thing with insecurity is that when the government is talking about achievements like we are building roads, schools, and whatever, the question I ask is, these roads that they are building, these hospitals, this whatsoever they are building, are they building these things for the people that are dead or the people that are dying? The security and protection of lives is the main priority of the government. And then from the federal level, we have only one DCFR in this country. And then it seems like they don't prioritize security anymore in this country. Because the things that are happening, the insecurity that is happening, these are things that they can easily tackle them. You can't just imagine bandits doing video call, TikTok, and you say you cannot get to them. Now, where I am now, if I insult any politician now, within 5 to 20 minutes, they will track me down. But why is it difficult for them to track these people that are making live videos? That's that. On issue of education, just like you're talking about JAM, honestly speaking, level of education, just like you asked, are we serious with education in Nigeria? I don't think we are. Education in Nigeria, particularly, is not an issue of priority. They prioritize it only on the media, like the rhetoric. You hear them on the media every day, the minister is doing this, they are doing, but in the real sense, you are not prioritizing education the way we are supposed to. And then bringing down to 150 means that it is either the teachers in the secondary school are not doing well or the students are not doing well. And I really say it's the students. Because the level of education in the secondary school now has drastically dropped.
So you're saying the students are not doing enough?
So I think the students are not doing enough. The teachers are trying. You see, even the teachers now, we have AI teachers everywhere. They are not putting the teachers on their own now. They depend on AI. They are not that hardworking like it used to be in the days of maybe the days of our parents. Let me put it that way. The teachers now are not serious like before.
All right then.
This thing is affecting the level of education. That's
Thank
why
you.
we are having all these 150 now.
Thank you so much for calling.
That's why they are bringing it down.
Thank you so much for calling. Quickly, before we run out of the studio, one other story we're supposed to talk about is the federal government are planning to take a $1.25 billion loan from the World Bank. The story here from The Punch says the federal government has stepped up engagements with the World Bank for a fresh $1.25 billion loan to support economic reforms, job creation, and competitiveness as and they're reaching a critical stage for the lender's approval. The proposed loan, titled Nigeria Actions for Investment and Jobs Acceleration, is expected to be presented for approval on June 26, 2026, about 6 months and 21 days before the January 16, 2027 presidential election, according to the revised timetable of the Independent National Electoral Commission. If approved, the loan will rank as the second largest single World Bank facility secured under President Bola Tinubu, only behind the $1.5 billion reforms for economic stabilization to enable transformation development policy equity financing approved in June 2024. If this happens, it means that in 2 years or in less than 2 years, we would have taken a loan of about $2.75 billion. Don't do the math, people. Don't calculate it in naira. You might get blown away. Anyways, the country's total public debt would also rise from 159.28 trillion naira to at least 160.98 trillion naira. In dollar terms, Nigeria's total debt could rise from $110.97 billion to about $112.22 billion if the facility is eventually approved and fully disbursed. Well, the decision, according to the Punch, is in its critical stage. The World Bank, the Punch confirmed that the president is now at the decision-making stage of the World Bank's project cycle, a point at which the lender's management reviews the final appraisal package and determines whether the project should proceed to the Board of Executive Directors for approval. Chelsea, your thoughts in 2 minutes.
We don't see the terms of this loan, and I think that's the biggest fear. It should be the biggest fear of every Nigerian, because these people know the condition of our economy. They know the condition of security and everything. So they do their research before they decide to disburse loans to different states. But they keep giving Nigerians loan. Why? Big question. Why? Secondly, what are the terms and conditions of this loan? What is the collateral, if there is any? When is supposed to be the payment strategy? Like, what are the terms? We need to be clear on this. And then I think the one thing we don't see is the breakdown for the usage of all these loans that they are taking. You tell us the loan is for this, the loan is for that. What is the breakdown? What amount goes to this? What amount goes to that? What even brought you to this figure? Why are you saying this figure? What did you estimate? What did you research? What are the breakdown that you got to this figure to borrow this figure? And then lastly, we keep saying our GDP is increasing. We keep saying revenue has increased. But up to now, we can't even use the increasing of this money to do anything in our economy. We still have to borrow. Now we are borrowing for something as I won't say it's minimal, because job has not been created in the longest time. But we are borrowing for something as crucial as job creation. First, we're borrowing for infrastructure. Now we're borrowing for job creation. So what can the country do? What can the country do for itself?
I have a very so just for the records, because I write, it means that I'm very familiar with words and semantics, and not just semantics. When I see job creation, my question is, what does it mean? Are you building a new industry for people to just get? What does job creation mean in this sense? When you borrow money for job creation, what does it mean? What does job creation mean? Are you giving people free money? And what jobs are you creating for them? Are you sprouting out new industries?
You won't see the breakdown. They won't tell you, we're using this for the agri sector, we're using this.
No, they'll tell us later. They'll tell us later after we're done collecting the money. Let's pick one more call and then we'll go to Facebook. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, Rich, Emeka, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Your name and your location, sir?
Yeah, my name is Austin, and I'm calling from Farringdon here.
Austin, please go on.
Yeah, the first one, I would just like to make a very direct comment. I believe that there is no state here that allows another set of, settlers to determine for them how the state should be governed as visitors, right? This is my position. The greatest mistake that Atunians will make is to allow somebody to determine for them how they should run their state. That's a very big mistake. And I promise you, if they allow that, I don't know how the story will end. Look at the situation right now. But then, the reason why I called is on the major discussion you started on education. I don't know. We so much put emphasis on the cognition of people. You talked about JAM, and then you talked about why should results be. JAM should reduce their grading system to 150. I think they're on the right track. I think that the right thing to do is to even not allow JAM to exist in the first place. Even though evaluation or assessment of students is basically done in an area like this. Most students, when they gain admission into applying for a school, you have to undergo some of these things. But you see, the African mind, the system of education, okay, that we are using right now is not helpful to Africans. This is why I said so. Now, when you look at our educational system, it is so structured in the way that it promotes.
Oh, unfortunately, the network were crazy there. Well, I would love to pick more calls and talk to you, but unfortunately, we are very much out of time. We can't go on Facebook. This is where Jodicrats is on today's edition of Let's Talk on J101.9 FM. The phone lines are still buzzing, but you're very much out of time. Chelsea, your final words in 10 seconds.
It's like I always say, when they go low, go high. Don't let the situation of the country affect your integrity.
Stay out of trouble, spread love, and seek the truth. Adios.
Hello, this is evangelist Rob Welch with For His Glory Ministries. You're listening to JFM 101.9. Keep listening.
Ah, I found something inside my Nescafe Original 3-in-1 pack the other day. A unique code printed inside.
Yes, so every pack of Nescafe Original 3-in-1 now comes with a code inside in the Nescafe Next Level promo. Just text the code to *7022# and